Buffalo Bills football player Damar Hamlin is still recovering from cardiac arrest. His doctors thankfully say he has made a big turnaround, and we're all glad to hear that. Now, it's been more than a week since he collapsed on a field. That terrifying moment is burned into a lot of people's memories and minds, and it has parents hesitant about allowing their own kids to play football for their school. Studies show now sudden cardiac death in young athletes is very rare, but about 100 such deaths are reported in the United States each year. That's enough to alarm us. Now, the chance of sudden death occurring to any individual high school athlete is about 1 in 200,000 per year, but it is seen as the #1 killer of young athletes overall. Parents Lewis Hunter and Mimi Money joins us here on The Factor Uncensored to talk about it. I tease you, your name is not Mimi Money, but it is. Okay.
It is.
But anyway, let's get to the subject at hand. As a mother, when it comes to your children playing football, where do you stand on that?
Well, if it's up to them, then, you know, I would encourage that. However, it is slightly concerning because it's, the safety of the field and also the safety of the court as well, too. So I'm very concerned when it comes to their safety and also their
And was that your line of thinking well before all of this?
Yes. Absolutely.
What concerns you about football for your children, your boys?
Well, it's a high-impact sport. It's a high-impact sport, and also the physical contact. You know, it's a lot for a mother and also a parent to be concerned about.
Lewis, what do you stand on? I don't know. So where do you stand, Lewis, on this?
This is what I think. You know, if you look out the rarity, I had to look it up. You know, there's like a 7,000% higher chance of injury or death in a car accident than there is this injury. You know, there have only been one death, 1971, of a professional football player. There are 60 million children that play organized sports.
But what about the statistics that we just read?
Right. We have to be concerned, I mean, to an extent. There was an article that said where there was a pregnant mother, an expecting mother, who says that she has already decided that her child won't play. And I don't believe that's her place. There are already not enough rites of passages for young men. This is like one of the last vestiges that we have. Are there going to be injuries? Absolutely. Are there going to be deaths? Hopefully not. But 60 million, yeah, you can probably count that there will be one. But that's no reason to have this knee-jerk reaction to say, oh, my child's not going to play football. Let the father handle that. You know, that's the father's job. You know, a father's job is to provide, protect.
Damn, Mimi, you hear that?
I'm listening.
Wait, because I was wondering when you said it's not the mother's decision.
It's not. Really, it's not. The mother builds a dependency based on emotional and physical needs of the child. But there comes a point in a young man's life where the father's job is to break that emotional tie by showing him how to become a man. And if too many mothers step in the way of that, you have what we have now. You know, we've got this social rabbit hole where we've got these gender confusions going on and what my role is as a man. And then you got women that complain about there not being enough men. So let a man step in, the father, uncle, grandfather, let the father step in and say, hey, if this child wants to play football or lacrosse or basketball, whatever it is, let him do it.
Mimi, should you step back? Is that a decision that's not designed for you as a mother?
I would have to know that it would be a secure factor at this point for not only the father or whatever, but also for the coaches and the training, athletic coaches that are training as well too. So I have to be secure on that, and of course I have to do my own research as a mother or as a parent to make sure.
But you wouldn't be willing to take a second or back seat to all of this?
Not completely. I'll let you drive. I'm going to be in the passenger seat, not completely in the back, because I'm going to still do what I need to do as a parent to assure that everything is safe with my child when they're on that field.
So the question becomes also, Lewis, should all parents make sure their children have that annual checkup, that safety checkup, before they put them on the field? Because a lot of parents simply send their children out to play football.
I mean, I don't know how it is now, but I know when I was coming up, you had to have a physical. Wasn't much of a physical. It was more of a field physical. 2 fingers, turn your head, cough. You know, it was a very basic physical. I don't know what they do now. You know, but I think that
I don't think they're allowed 2 fingers anymore.
they don't do it in the one. You know, I just think that the
So you grew up with me in slavery days.
absolutely. I think that the mother should defer to the father, particularly with boys, because the man is going to be responsible for breaking that emotional dependency between a mother and a son, so that he can go on and do things as a man. He's going to be somebody's father. He's some young lady hopefully will have his last name. And he's going to have to be able to lead. And with that, there's risk. You know, there's an old saying that, you know, a man won't discover new seas without the risk of losing sight of the shore. You know, you have to break away from that at some point. And a mother has to be willing to let go at some point. Otherwise, you have these tit boys that crowd around their mother, you know, and you know, they're not men. They're staying at home till they're 30. You know, they feel like the world revolves around them. You know, and they have to lead. They have to take the sacrifice, and that can only be achieved through hard work, adversity, being able to pick themselves up when they fall down. Mother can't stand in the way of that. Now, daughters, I don't know, but boys, I know that.
Mimi, what would you tell mothers out there who may have a role or who may be saying, I need to decide if my boy needs to play football?
Well, again, it circles back around to understanding. You know, why do you strongly feel like your child, your son should not play or should not play football? Again, my belief is, hey, I don't mind my child playing football, but I'm going to do whatever I need to do necessary to make sure he's safe and make sure his health is not on the back burner when it comes to him being on the field.
All right, Mimi Hunter, Lewis Hunter, wait, Mimi Money.
Money.
I'll put y'all together.
Sound like a rapper.
What your husband gonna say?
Oh my goodness.
Thank you both for joining us here on The Factor.